You think I care? Look at me. Do I look like I care? Look, just take it. Do I look like I care? Look at me. Look, no, Sharice, look at me. Do I look like I care? Look. I don't care.
Welcome back again, everybody, to another Mid-Tier Thoughts video. Today, we're going to be talking about the top 5 weapon lights for every budget. I spent a lot of time experimenting when it comes to weapon lights on which ones I prefer, from cheapest and more affordable to more expensive options. What are good lights out there that work? Why do I like them? What do I not like? And what are the pros and cons of each? So we're going to dive into this and kind of discuss the top 5 lights I have picked out here as far as the weapon lights that I trust, as well as how much they cost, pros and cons, so on and so forth. So stick around and let's see if we can lighten up your world. Coming in at number 1 is an option that I've used for a long time, for several years on this AR pistol, is the Streamlight Prot 1L AA. So this handheld light right here, not too big, it's actually marketed as an EDC light, if you guys can see that. I have it sitting on a cantilever mount from Magpul on a pick rail section with, I believe these are like 3/4 inch rings, so maybe 1 inch rings on here that basically tighten down until they fit. And I have this kind of secure in here so it doesn't move, doesn't wiggle. You still have access to the battery area. Now the nice thing about this is it can run on AA batteries. You can run it on CR123s or you can run it on AA, so it's dual fuel, which is really nice. It's about 350 lumens. It's not incredibly bright. Comes in at about 350 lumens, which really is pretty good for most of the things I'm using this for. And we'll kind of demonstrate how that looks with all of these different weapon lights here in a bit in my garage. So at 350 lumens, it's good enough to get the job done. It's affordable. I think these things come in about, updated price I checked on Amazon, they're around $45 or so. They're under 50 bucks. And basically the only thing you need is just a way to mount it. So that's one of the cons, is it doesn't come with a mounting system. It basically comes with a pocket clip because it's designed as an EDC light. But there are plenty of options out there where you can get mounting systems. You can see here just that cantilever mount mounted on the fore end here for the light. Now, as far as hand placement goes, with my angled foregrip, my thumb sits right about here, so I can just push it with the back of the push button. It does have both the momentary, the stay on, and it does have a flash function. So it is 10 tap programmable, so you can tap it 10 times and program it to stay on just one of those or switch to the 3. But again, this is a very affordable option that works out really well. I'm going to have some stats located somewhere on the screen, probably over here for you guys, to kind of give you some more information on there that I didn't cover. And that'll be true of all of these lights as we kind of go down the line. And that was the Streamlight Prot 1L AA. And again, I'm not getting money from any of these people or anything like that. These are all lights that I've spent time and money on going through here and just kind of showing off what I do or don't like. So coming in then at number 2, this one, again, one that I kind of had to get creative with the mounting solution, is the Surefire G2X Pro. Now the Surefire G2X Pro, again, all of these are kind of, most of these are spray painted with the rifle, so they might look a little off. But the G2X Pro here is a push button light like the last one. This one's a little bit brighter, coming in at 600 lumens. I have this on an impact weapon systems mount. You can kind of see here, it mounts on top of the old A2 style handrail and fits off to the sides. That way I have plenty of space and plenty of room. It's still easily accessible whenever I come out with the rifle. Still easily accessible. And again, this one runs off CR123s. It runs around $99. Sometimes you can find them a little bit cheaper on sale, but on average it's around that $99 to $100 mark. So it's not incredibly expensive, but it's not in, dirt cheap either. It's about double the cost of the previous light. But this one would make a nice handheld light, or again, be a really good weapons light system for this. It does have just a standard pushback button on the back. I'm not 100% sure if they have pressure pads for the G2X. I'm sure someone out there in the comment section can enlighten me if they do. But the G2X is another great option. Again, coming in around the $100 mark for a light that you can mount onto your weapon platform. And again, if you do it right, you can even get this onto an A2 style handguard. I know the retro stuff is real big right now. People are trying to find ways to mount lights. This is one way that I found was very comfortable and very easy to do, and pretty neat kind of experience putting this all together. So big fan of this. The G2X Pro is an awesome light for my retro build. Really like it. So then coming in at number 3 is going to be Nightstick. So this one, though, is one of their long gun lights. So this one comes with a bunch of different mounting options, which is a plus. It comes out of the box ready to mount to a rifle, which is really cool that it comes with a bunch of different ways to do this. So with this one, this is the Nightstick LGL 160. So with this guy, you have your light here that produces 800 lumens. So here we've got the Stick LGL 160. It's got your pressure pad mounted. I've got it off on the other side. This has a solid push button up top for you can do stay on or momentary. You don't have a flash sequence with this. It's just stay on or momentary. Then you also have your pressure pad here, as well as they do send you pieces for cable management. That's basically what this is right here. It's just a piece that mounts to your pick rail to hide your wires, and then comes back in to the CR123 fueled light here. This is 800 lumen light, so not 1,000 lumens, but still pretty bright enough to get the job done for sure. Again, this one comes in right around the 135 to 140 mark from what most of the stuff I've seen online, give or take $10 in either direction. So this one is a pretty good option for affordable light if you don't want to quite drop like major big Surefire money, but you want to get a good decent light. This is a great option for that. In a similar category, basically tied with this guy, is going to be the Streamlight Prot HL1X. I believe it's a rifle mounted light system. So mounted on my G3, I have my Streamlight Prot HLX1 or HL1X. I can never remember the number. I'm going to have the stats again here on here to correct me when I'm wrong. So this guy is ran by two CR123s or an 18650. They do have a rechargeable model of those for the batteries, which is pretty cool. Runs out to your standard pressure pad. I have it mounted on the side here. This one, again, 10-tap programmable. You can do the momentary, you can do always on, or you can tap twice for the strobe. With this one, it does produce 1,000 lumens in that mode, so it's pretty cool. It does have just a straight pick rail mount on here, so just tightens up with the turn of that screw as you mount it to the Picatinny rail. So you can mount this wherever you want. If you do mount it on the side, you will need like some kind of a pick rail, something like that. So I think they might have more mounting options nowadays that these are more popular, but I'm not 100%. I've had this light for, I don't know, probably 7 years. I've beat the crap out of it. I've banged it up on stuff, taken it through the cold, taken it through the heat. This thing keeps on working. This one, again, really close to the price point of the Nightstick. I'd say they're within about $20 of each other. I've seen this one anywhere between the 140 to 170 ballpark. So really, if it came to it, I'd probably pick either one, but maybe lean a little bit more to Streamlight just because they have more time on it. But again, this one, the Streamlight Prot HL1X, a great option for that. Now we're going to take a bit of a jump here from some fairly affordable lights, which again, depending on the price point category of where you're at, will define what's affordable to you. And we're going to step it up towards this. So my Daniel Defense that I have here, you guys have seen this on the channel before. This is pretty much set up as my if I have to grab one rifle and go type of deal. So I wanted to have some really good stuff on here. So I have the Surefire M600 Scout Light Pro on here. So I've got my pressure pad here, as well as my button here for it as well. So this is kind of, my cable management is more or less just the little zip ties that come with it. This is 1,000 lumen light. This is super hardy construction. Again, this one I've beat the crap out of. I've used and abused, and it keeps on kicking. So this light is fueled by two CR123s. I haven't replaced the batteries in this since I've bought it, and I've been able to use this for a long time, and it's held up pretty well. So with that, we're going to kind of show you an example of in my garage, and hopefully if it's dark enough outside, I'll open the garage door and see how much further out we can see. Kind of show what each light looks like and how they compare up against each other. As far as sturdiness and construction goes, across the board, all of these lights have been held up and been very rugged and reliable. I've banged the crap out of them. I'm not easy going on any of my stuff, and they've held up really well. That being said, most of these, like I said too, are also painted, so it can be kind of hard to tell which one's which whenever we do these. But I would say any of these lights would be a great option for you, just depending upon your budget and what you're looking for. Again, we have everything from $45 to these guys, the Surefires, going almost to the $400 mark. I believe they're around $370, $375 usually on average. Like, I think $369 is what I was able to find it for. So with that, they do vary a little bit in price, but you can find them fairly easily, and you can swap out the heads with them. You can do a little bit more stuff. The downside, I will say, to the Surefires is that these come with just the push button on the back. You do have to buy the tail cap as an add-on accessory, and it does cost a little bit more money. So with that, you know, you're paying $360+ for a light. You're paying another $70, $80 for the tail cap. You know, it can add up kind of quick. If you want a really good, rugged, durable light, though, however, this is definitely a way to go. But for some people, you know, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and I totally get that. And there are a lot of other lights that do very similar stuff for a little bit less. So that was kind of the point of kind of showing some of the variety that's out there. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead and break from this. I'm gonna go to turn the lights off in my garage. We're gonna take a look and see how bright these lights are inside, and you guys can kind of decide from there which ones you think are the best. All right, guys, so we're gonna start with the Streamlight Prot, the handheld light before. This is the one that's around $45. This should be around 350 lumens. Go ahead and turn off the light, shine it at the garage, and see what we can get. So there it is, guys. In my garage, 350 lumens. It's not super incredibly bright, but you can definitely tell it's bright enough. It definitely lights up the whole room. I do have a little bit of suppressor shadow there, obviously, for my suppressor, but you can see it gets the job done pretty well, at least in a smaller room. So let's go ahead and step it up to the G2X, and we'll see what it looks like, and then we'll, after we've gone through them all, we'll try to open my garage door, see if we can see how bright light it is outside. All right, so now we're doing the Surefire G2X Pro, mounted on the Impact Weapon Systems light mount on my Retro AR. So let's see what we can get. So again, this is 600 lumens. Not sure how much you can tell, but to me it's much brighter. That cone is a little bit larger too. Again, a little bit of shadow since it's mounted a little further back on the barrel, but not too bad. Lights up the whole room. Definitely tell a difference, at least in my eyes. I'm not sure how well it translates to the camera, of what 350 versus 600 lumens looks like. And guys, I'm doing this in my garage, so don't judge the clutter. All right, up next is the Nightstick LGL 160. So now we're gonna shine this guy and see how we do. So with this guy, 800 lumens, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, unfortunately. There's a much higher centered cone of light towards the center of this guy. All right, 800 lumens. To me, it definitely looks a much brighter. Definitely shines a little bit lighter. I know it kind of drowns it out on the surface, but there's definitely a much more noticeable central beam of light here with a dimmer outer circle on this guy. But yeah, 800 lumens, not too bad. Definitely a little bit brighter. Now we're doing the Streamlight Prot HLX on the G3. We'll see how well this does. All this stuff here too, if you guys are wondering, this is just like a little cover that I made basically out of an old Hollow Sun bikini cover and some electrical tape. So get that out of the way and we'll see what 1000 lumens looks like. So at 1000 lumens, it's definitely, at 1000 lumens, ironically, this actually looked like a little bit less bright or a little less focused than the Nightstick, in my opinion. I know it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, unfortunately, but at least from my eyes, it does not look quite as bright as the 800 lumens. We'll take a look at the Surefire now and see how it goes. All right, guys, now we're doing the Surefire M600 Scout Light Pro. Again, this one's 1000 lumens, and we're gonna see how it looks. This one is a much wider throw of the light. I know it can be kind of hard to see from there, but again, a much wider throw of this, of the light on here, not quite as focused or as centered. So I know that's one thing some people don't necessarily like about the Surefire heads, is it is 1000 lumens, it's pretty bright, but it's a fairly wide throw. So as you can see though, at least, you know, in distances of a garage where if you're working inside in a dark space, unless you're really working outside with white lights, all 5 of these lights have worked really well. Some a little bit better than others. All right, so with that, guys, we are hanging out in my garage. Unfortunately, I'm kind of limited by the space I'm operating out of. I did open my garage to try to see if I could shine the lights out there and see how well I could see them. Unfortunately, I do have a really bright street light right outside my garage, as well as my house lights that kind of drown out most of the light, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to go with what we have. With that being said, most of the times you're probably gonna be using lights are gonna be most likely inside dark spaces, a lot of those being interiors, whether they be during day or night. Most of the time outside, you're probably not using white light that often. If you are, it's probably just for simple target identification. Most of these lights I have used at distance. There are plenty of other videos you can find out on YouTube for each of these lights to see how well they do outside at distance. With that being said, just kind of wanted to give an example of the top 5 lights that I've had experience with that I really enjoy. I know there's a lot of people out there that are getting into firearms recently. It's a new thing for them and they're trying to outfit their guns and get the best things they can without wasting their money. So depending on what budget you're on, any one of these lights would be a great option for you. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. Also, if you haven't already, I'm gonna have a link to it here. We are currently doing a Hurricane Helene fundraiser giveaway. We have a GoFundMe set aside for raising money for Samaritan's Purse. They're doing a lot of good work on the ground, and they're actually going out and helping people. They're a really good organization. With that, we are raising money for them. I'm trying to raise $5,000. I think if we could come together as a community and raise $5,000 for this, that would be fantastic. Now, in return for your donation, for every $5 donated, you will get an entry into the giveaway. The giveaway details will be in the description as well as in the video posted above. Check those out, but we're going to have some pretty awesome things to give away. We've got a lot of cool stuff. Potentially, we might have more coming in, depending on a few companies I'm waiting to hear from. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for your time. Stay awesome. Stay safe. We'll see you on the next one.